Gavin Newsom, California's Democratic governor, is considering a presidential run in 2028. Before you consider voting for him in the next election, here's who he really is, based on verified facts. He decriminalized loitering through SB 357, SB stands for Senate bill, claiming it hurts women and trans people. Okay. Why women? Well, prostitution, of course. It unfairly targets prostitute women. Are you kidding me? Even though prostitution itself is still illegal, this bill now lets them walk the streets freely and has led to an increase in teenage prostitutes across the state, with LA's prostitutes as young as 11 to 13 years old. This is happening in America right now. You want this man doing this on a national stage to children? He signed AB 1955. AB stands for Assembly Bill, banning schools from requiring staff to notify children about their students' gender identity or expression changes. Meaning, if your child has become confused and or mentally ill and can't figure out if they're a boy or a girl, instead of notifying you so that you can get them the professional help and loving support they need, they hide it from you. No alert, no chance to provide loving support or professional help. Instead, the secret festers. It grows over time and gets worse and worse. Untreated distress often turns into hidden self-harm, cutting themselves, or irreversible steps like mutilating healthy body parts or chopping them off completely. Resentment builds towards anyone who speaks the truth. Families fracture and are often destroyed as brainwashed and alienated children cut ties with them. Imagine what that would be like. Later, regret hits terribly hard for many of these poor, lost children. Destroyed fertility, many of them can never have children now for their entire lives. Ruined relationships, and often a complete inability now to be in a healthy relationship. Profound, deep, soul-destroying isolation and depression, the worst kind, and often leads to suicide. Parents discover too late, are often crushed by guilt, and their families are shattered forever. Newsom chose the woke agenda over your family. Remember that in 2028. California schools used to teach critical race theory, which creates division and actual racism in schools, mostly against white people and men and boys especially. It replaces equality with equity. Equality I'll define as equal access to opportunities. That's what everyone should want in America. It means regardless of your race, your religion, or anything else, you have the same access to opportunities as everyone else. For whatever reason, the radical left had decided that's racist, that's evil. Equal opportunities, racist and evil. Okay. Equity is what they want to replace it with. Equity means everyone gets the same outcomes, irrelevant of effort and merit. It means those who try and those who do not both get the same rewards. Does that sound fair? Does that sound like the America you want to live in, where there's no point in trying because you'll get the same rewards as everyone else? Of course not. That's destructive to everything America stands for. Well, 2021, the State Board of Education in California created ethnic studies, which is founded on critical race theory and is mandated for graduation currently. I say again, it's mandated for graduation currently. So what the news will say, it's not real, it's not happening, it's a far-right conspiracy. But they are lying to you. The reality is that they rebranded CRT, critical race theory, and the hate, the racism, and the division it causes continues to harm our impressionable children. Do you support this across the entire country? Institutionalized hatred against your sons and daughters because of the color of their skin? The truth here is that hate doesn't stop with one race or one group. Once the woke mob is finished with them, they move on to the next group, and it's rarely the bad guys. It means if your group is doing better than another group for any reason, they will consider you oppressors and Nazis, and they will come for you, your friends, your family, and your children. Do you want hate on a national level? I sure hope not, because that's what Gavin will promote if he's president. He'll wrap it in flowery words like equity and inclusion, but at the end of the day, it's hate, institutionalized. Homelessness exploded under Gavin, 20 to 30% surge statewide. despite blowing over $24 billion of your tax dollars since 2019. He pushes housing first over mental health care first. But as anyone with a loved one on the streets knows, housing alone, it just simply doesn't fix the issue. They need real help, safe places they can't just walk away from, because mental illness often breeds things like paranoia, and it keeps them out in the cold until it's far too late. Gavin's wasting our money while people suffer and die, which is absolutely heartbreaking. You want this on a national scale? Regarding erasing opportunities for women, even after calling boys in girls' sports deeply unfair in a recent podcast interview, Gavin Newsom still refuses to protect women in sports and allows men to compete alongside them, taking away their hope and opportunities.
You have an opportunity to run to the middle and seize this mantle. Obviously, You're talking to me of all people. Yeah. So you right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports, that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate
but would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. It is an issue of fairness. So it's deeply unfair.
Would you speak out against this young man, A.B. Hernandez, who right now is going to win the state championship in the long jump? I can see you wrestling with it.
No, I'm not wrestling. I'm not wrestling with the.
Shall we now erase women on a national scale? I sure hope not. I don't know about you guys, but I know a few women. I've got a mom, 2 sisters, female cousins, and I have female friends in general. What kind of monster would I be to look these people in the eyes and let them know I've now supported taking away their opportunities for them and their daughters, and that they are the hateful ones if they don't agree and approve? For all my faults, I've got plenty. I am a man above all. And one of my most important jobs is not to take advantage of the women in my life, but to value them and protect them. It's a shame someone like Gavin actually agrees, but is too corrupt to actually do the right thing. A man that takes advantage of those he should love and cherish, he's not even a man as far as I'm concerned, and he certainly shouldn't be our next president. Gavin signed SB 132 back in 2020, letting male inmates self-identify as women, no surgery, no hormones needed, and request transfer to women's prisons. That's right. So men, murderers, rapists, pedophiles can just say, I feel like a woman, and there's a great chance that they get to now go live with women. The result? You can guess, right? Fully intact men with violent pasts, again, including rapists, sex offenders, pedophiles, now living alongside female inmates. Those are women, many of whom are abuse survivors themselves. The CDCR, which stands for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, their own data shows about 34%, that's a third of those requesting transfers, are registered sex offenders. That means rapists and pedophiles. Amy Ichikawa, a former inmate who's turned her life around and been fighting this for years, gets calls and letters from terrified women inside almost daily. Pregnancies and sexual assaults continue to happen, yet the media barely touches it. Why is that? Because protecting vulnerable women should not be controversial. Your tax dollars fund this nightmare. Do we really want this mess going national? Gavin signed SB 107, which is a bill that would authorize a court to take temporary jurisdiction because a child has been unable to obtain gender-affirming health care. What does this actually mean? Okay, let's say you have a radical mom who wants to mutilate her child and a non-radical dad who does not want to mutilate their child. And both live in a state like Florida, for example, that doesn't allow children to be mutilated by surgery. Good job, Ron DeSantis. The mom can take the child to California, where the state will take temporary jurisdiction of their son, perform the permanent and life-altering surgery on their child, and the mother and the doctors are now immune from out-of-state prosecution. Gavin made it so radicals can mutilate their children and everyone involved gets away with it, even against the wishes of a responsible parent. Is this the president you want? Think twice. Hey everyone, this is Micah.
And this is Aaron.
From Love People Enough. Please consider signing up for our Patreon so we can continue to bring you hard-hitting episodes and grow our channel to reach the widest audience possible. Link below in the description.